God. Tough break, huh?
Hey. Catherine.
Do it, I swear. What? Where am sorry, kitty. I do that when I sleep, you know, it keeps the light out.
How's the last 24 hours been?
It's really been a whirlwind. I mean, we're excited. We did polling back in June, and it adequately described exactly what we're going to find. And it's funny, but no one would believe me when I would tell them this guy's underwater. He can't win, and just no one would believe us. We were shocked.
So you were shocked on election night. I saw the video. It was great, man. It was
Ted Cruz once said, "Run scared or run unopposed," right? And so even though we had all this great linear regression modeling, poll after poll that was showing that Dan can't win, and I would tell supporters and I would tell people that wanted to contribute to the campaign, Dan can't win, but I couldn't absorb it into my own heart and mind that Dan can't win. Right? It's like it's this duality of what it is to run a hard race, because you don't want to, for a second, take anything for granted. You want to leave everything on the field and work as hard as you can.
Let's talk quickly about the field, because there are a lot of people that sit there armchair and say, here's why Dan lost. Here's why Dan Crenshaw lost. And it has been a remarkable fall from grace, because in 2018, when Dan won, he had the story, you had all this kind of sort of young viral energy, and, people were saying this guy could potentially run for president. Now he's losing a primary 6 years later. Why did that happen, Steve?
It was a fall from grace. This is a guy, one of the things that secrets of life is being extremely grateful for everything that you have. And as a follower of Christ,
yes,
if you understand that you're deeply loved, deeply cared for, and that you have a provider that provides everything for you, the good times and the bad times, the hard things and the easy things. Dan really has a charmed life. He has a beautiful wife. He has a beautiful child. He's a member of Congress. He was talked about as being the next vice presidential pick. He was talked about one day being groomed for the presidency, as you just said. And yet, for some reason, that wasn't enough for him. And he was just a miserable man. One of my supporters said that once supported Dan that threw a fundraiser for him at his beautiful home in Carlton Woods, said, Dan's just really unhappy. He's an unhappy person. He's a miserable person. And maybe he just needs to come home and get centered again. I mean, he's a really talented guy. There's just no doubt about it. He's not stupid. He's smart. He's gifted. He can be a very effective communicator. He's got a great story, a great Patriot story. But I think there's something to just getting grounded again and being grateful for all the things that you have and not being miserable, because he's miserable with everybody he comes in contact with.
It's funny. I lived in DC for 15 years, man. And if you come to DC as like a spring chicken or as someone who's naive, you'll get your life destroyed. Yeah. If you come to DC and you already have demons, whether that's because you went to war and got hurt, or whether it's because of something else personal in your life, then it will exacerbate your demons. DC is a reality distortion field that is designed to destroy people. And every vice is set directly before you. It's all free. It's terrible. And I think that's like, if somebody were to ask me, what do you truly think, like with a polygraph on, happened with Crenshaw, I would say that, honestly. Right? Coming to DC with pre-existing demons, and they just accelerate, It
sounds a lot like Austin, honestly. I mean, it really is. We're the 8th largest economy in the world. It's not, if you're in the legislature, whether you're in the House or the Senate, it's not like serving in Louisiana. It's not like serving in Delaware. No offense to Louisiana and Delaware, but this is the 8th, if not 7th largest economy in the world. And it's just filled with bottom dwellers that are just trying to suck the life out of you. It's a very transactional place, just like DC is. And they want you to sell your soul to them so that you can have a little bit more of that which is temporal and is passing away.
Yes. So that's such a great point. And you talked about your Christian faith, and we're very excited, honestly, to see you run this race all the way through. It's going to be awesome to see you in Washington, D.C., have you as an ally and friend to keep us updated as to what's going on there, because you are somebody who actually has been seasoned and matured enough in your beliefs that, and you've done this, right, in the Texas state legislature. So you have sort of the battle scars of that. And it's always like valuable to see that, right? It's always valuable to have that background, because you can't be plied as easily when you get to Washington, where the G-forces for corruption are just so much more extreme.
Yeah. I mean, it's the refining fire. It really is truly. That's one of the things I'm so grateful for. Not the battle scars of Austin, but the battle scars of having to continue to try and hold my seat, because they come after me every single election cycle. The Republicans come after me every single election cycle, trying to take me out.
Steve, you've served with someone who's gone quite viral here. I think people will forget about Dan Crenshaw pretty quickly, but James Talerico is somebody who is my entire timeline right now. I've never seen. I mean, like he's too left wing for the women of the View. Like he wouldn't get a spot on the View couch. I think that he's more radical than Ilhan Omar.
He is.
AOC. Yeah.
He is. So I've served with James since 2019 when he came into the House, and it's funny because he went from this caustic, nasty, angry, pissed off young man to, in one session, oh, I'm going to be all Christian. I'm going to be all Presbyterian pastor. And I mean, literally that caustic. And I mean, you are going to see some back mic video of this guy in his most ugly, nasty, caustic moments, shilling for the most woke, evil, cut the penises off of little boys, cut the breasts off of little girls, allow biological males into our daughters' restrooms and showers, to the most disgusting things of critical race theory, you name it. I mean, this guy is as far to the left as you can possibly go.
When you listen to the speeches he's given, they're not just a progressive take on Christianity, they're anti-Christianity.
Yeah.
To say that God is non-binary, well, that's antithetical to God, and that's antithetical to the first chapter of Genesis and the nature of God. To say that Christ would be for abortion on demand or transgenderism, and that God needs our consent. There's this like whole thing he does to say that God's down with abortion because he needs our consent to be God. I mean, it's not just like progressive woke Christianity. Like we're just going to pick and choose what verses we read, right? Because we don't like we don't like these verses. It's anti-Christianity.